So the first thing that we want to talk about with Keyboard is this, the API stuff. So you can now, with the latest update, you can program the function buttons to call API commands, and you can associate them with cameras, or you can associate them with anything. So it's not just BirdDog camera exclusive. If you have APIs that trigger things elsewhere, you can put the commands in the keyboard and they will do them. So we're really excited about that. It provides a huge level of functionality, and how you do that is you do that on the web UI of the keyboard. So we would go to the IP address in Chrome, go into the web UI, and then there's a new API menu that's in there that you can assign the function button that you want to do the API command. And you put the API command inside there, you save it, and then when you press function 1, it does that. So let's say we have an API command that changes the scene on my show, which then shows the next, it triggers the transition or whatever. That means that you could press that and control your switching system over the keyboard. So it's a beautiful, it provides a lot more diversity for those 6 function buttons. And we're really excited to provide that as a free update in the keyboard. Whoops, didn't mean to move that. The other major update for this is the preview window, what we're calling the routing window. And essentially what happens is the camera that you call on the keyboard will now show as an NDI output. And the most practical place to think about this is in Studio Monitor, right? So we've got a computer, we're running a show, we've got a camera, and the camera is, oh nice, there they all are. And the camera is, let me make this full screen. And I'm going to pull us over. Now this is my desktop over here. So I have a camera, the P100, that's directly above me, that is watching the desk. It is called on this keyboard. So I am going to open up, now the keyboard shows up as an NDI source inside of Studio Monitor. And I'm going to click on Keyboard Router. And now it's showing, now this is the low bandwidth because I'm doing a lot on this machine today. It's showing the P100 that's directly above me, right? But if I want to call a different camera, and I have to figure out which one I can call, but let's call camera 2, and I hit cam 2, this is the PF120, which isn't connected. Let's call cam 3. Oh, look, it's the P200 that I'm using. And so I want to control that now with the actual keyboard. I want to call a preset with that. Hopefully this works. Call the preset, reposition my camera, and then I want to switch back to the 100. You can do that, and it outputs that, it calls that into the router so that you can see what camera then you're adjusting. Isn't that amazing and awesome? And it doesn't require us to install a HDMI port and you to attach a screen. Now it's just all done over NDI. And when this was announced internally with the engineers, I was thinking that we would have a video out on the keyboard and it would be able to pull the NDI feed and show it, kind of like a preview or a loop out option or whatever. Maybe we could use the USB port to do something like that. No. The beautiful thing about NDI is that you can program it to do that and already utilize the NDI stuff that's already happening on your network. So now when we call the cameras, it automatically does it in Studio Monitor. It's so stinking awesome. And it's way better than any idea that I had. This is like a sneak peek of the power that will be NDI. And the fact that it works this well and this fast. Yes, there's like a half a second delay. But literally, you punch it in, it shows up. You can you control that camera. Switch back. Now we're controlling this camera. So stinking awesome. So that feature for keyboard just elevated this thing to a new standard of control. It's like now it's like a sneaky feature. You get it with a free update. So awesome. So I'm really excited about that and to show you how that works. I think that is the best feature that is a part of the LTS firmware, is the fact that you get this now as the preview window. So we're really excited about that. Hey, John, greetings from right down the street. Where are you? How's it going, Al's? Oh, wait, ALS? Is this Chris? What's going on, man? How's it going? Advanced Lighting and Sound. These are I've done business with ALS for like 15 years, maybe longer if I count my student years. They were partners with us when I worked at Rochester University in Rochester Hills, along with like two other guys that used to, well, I guess one other guy that used to work there, and a whole bunch of us that went to school. What's going on, Chris? Chris is, hey, if you're in Michigan, anywhere in Michigan, and you need any bird dog gear, any sort of installation, look up Advanced Lighting and Sound in Troy, Michigan. Those guys are aces at what they do. I love working with them. They can fix electronics. They can help you plan your NDI stuff. They can help you lay out your network so it works correctly. These guys are awesome. Check them out. Really, really great guys to work with. So ALS, I can't say enough good stuff about them. Hey, thanks. Hey, what's going on, M Driver? Thanks, I thought the same, but you know, I don't want to mess it up, so it was... Tim, my P100 with AA hardware also shows up with SV number 36 after updating. It was 34 before, so I guess it's probably a typo in the instructions, not to worry about. Awesome. So yes, let's go with a 36. If Tim says it, he's done the double checking. I trust him. He's a good resource to check on that stuff, and we'll ask engineering tonight after the show. If you're looking for an answer today, let's go with yes. It's supposed to say 36. This is my favorite new feature of the LTS update so far. I agree. So stinking awesome. I like that. IT is taking over AV. I love it. What's going on, Ben? Purple Fire. Appreciate that. Maritime Credit. This is freaking amazing. Isn't it? I'm so stinking excited about this. We haven't even gotten to cam control yet. Yeah, so fun. John is so adorable when he's excited, and it brings me joy. All right, Senseless. You can... I told Senseless to pack up his things and get ready to go home today, but... All right, I want you to stay in the office. It's super cool. Also, the cog icon in Studio Monitor will... Oh, jeez. I totally forgot. So check this crap out. So I call the camera inside of here, and it switches on Studio Monitor. If I click on the cog wheel, it takes me to the web UI of the camera that I'm controlling. That is awesome sauce. It's so awesome that they thought to do that instead of taking you to the keyboard one every time. Because we know the keyboard IP address. That's not the issue. We can look it up here on the keyboard. No. Oh, crap. I'm having a problem with the camera that I'm controlling. Hey, something's up with this P100. I'm sorry. Something's up with this P100. I need to get into the settings. Hit the cog wheel. Right to the web UI. Inside the KB router screen. Stinking awesome. That is really customer-focused, forward-facing, intuitive crap. And again, we're just scratching the surface on this NDI stuff. If this controller can do this, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Pandora, what's going on, Pandorka? Good to see you. I saw Pandorka over Christmas, and okay, spoiler, Pandorka is a part of my immediate family, and her niece came up for Christmas, and we had a great time, even though I got sick. She made the best of it, and it was great. So, what's going on? Trust FFP Steve, way cool. Hey, thanks for chatting. Thanks for jumping in. It's the first time you've chatted with us, and I really appreciate that. So, and thanks for everybody for sticking around. I am going past the 12 o'clock mark. If you can't stay, I totally understand, but I really encourage you to stay because we're going to talk about cam control in just a minute. Hey, that's great if you use the keyboard NDI as a webcam. That would be keyboard NDI as that would be true. Yes, that would be great. Very nice, says Minnie. Hey, can you show the joystick calibration? So that actually doesn't. That's not a visual thing. What's going on here is when you turn on when you link to a camera. This is what I was told. When you link to a camera and you get the OK screen, and by the way, it's re-pulling that. So that's why you see that little delay when we did that. One, okay, boom. Now it re-pulls that stream. And if you're talking about workflow and you're talking about worrying about how much data is coming into your computer NIC card, now we're going to get really nerdy here. All right, now we're going to get into my wheelhouse of network. If you're really worried about the amount of data that's coming into your network while you're using the keyboard and you're watching the stream, I really suggest you use Studio Monitor and you use low bandwidth mode. And the way that you get there is you right click, you go to the source, or I'm sorry, you go to your settings, video, low bandwidth. It's going to give you the proxy stream that's coming out of the camera. Okay, the camera's output, full NDI, NDI proxy, NDI comms, and NDI metadata. Okay, it's doing a lot. But the proxy stream is only like 6 megs. And so you don't need to run 120, 130. If you're doing 4K, you don't need to run 200 megs just to use this function. Oh, and by the way, although it's pixelated, if we make it smaller, it's totally usable. Like it's totally, it's just fine. Okay, it's a good picture. It is pixelated. It's not super clean. It's not the full quality. But if you're just using it for positioning cameras so that you can set them up in your scene so that when your minister walks across stage and goes to zone 3 and you're ready to switch to it, if that's all you're doing, hey, just use the low bandwidth. It will lighten the load on the network and it's super helpful. Anyway, so I strongly suggest you use that. The calibration piece that was just asked about here is when you call a camera, it calibrates to 0 because we're on the middle, all right? So it is going to calibrate to 0. But then the way that I've been told about this, and it's going to go off the screen here, but when you go to the extremes of the joystick, okay, it continually calibrates because it knows that this is 100%. And so over time, this gets quite precise in terms of it gets better and better and better as you use it. So the beautiful thing is that it continues to calibrate because people were getting annoyed that, the center was, wow, that is a really tight, wow, that dead space is a lot tighter. So people were, okay, so here's another thing. People were complaining that, man, I have to really push it all a long way over in order to get to start. No. That has been tightened up. That center spot has been tightened up a fair bit, and it's really slow. Actually, this camera's PTZ speed needs to be adjusted. But whoa! But it is now quite precise, and you're going to have to turn it down. You're not going to have to use 100% to get it to function. Actually, I need it 25%. Oh, that's so nice. Remember that you're sending commands over TCP, or actually you're sending them over UDP, to be quite honest with you. And so that's different than sending electrical signals to a motor, which is the traditional way of controlling PTZs. So you're gonna do this. It's a totally different method of sending commands, but the fact that they have it this tight, I always put my thumb under the joystick and then I slowly increase it so that I cross thresholds slowly and not quickly. There's a guy out there, I won't say his name because I'll probably invite a whole bunch of controversy, but he says, if you want to move something really precise, like let's just say you want to move your hand super precise and you go really slow, that's one way to do it, but it's not as accurate as if you put resistance against it and then you move it. Now you have a whole lot of control because you're pushing against your hand and you're moving it at the same time. Well, same is true here. Is if you just leave your thumb, sorry, I'll try to put this on the screen. If you just leave your thumb, if you just push over, it's going to vary fairly significantly. And by the way, this is mounted upside down on my ceiling. That's why we're getting the... it's going to vary, but if you add resistance, which is why I put my thumb under here at various degrees, and then I just push against my thumb, that's a lot more precise movement. So if you're using a camera and you're finding it's kind of jerky, provide some resistance. Either touch it underneath and push back and forth. I like to put my thumb underneath the joystick. My thumb fits quite nicely, and then I can actually push against it and get really precise movements. Very small incremental movement. So there you go. That one was for free. Purely the price of admission this morning was all that extra little tidbit was needed. So good stuff. All right, try and catch up on the chat, and then we'll keep going. That's a great use as webcam. I've already seen this. ALS Chris, it is. I assume you're agreeing with my promotion of ALS. Did I just see the zoom out without controller? I don't know. But perhaps. Was that a bug or a feature? Let's call it a feature. I don't know. I didn't see it, but it is possible. Wait, so if you use, let's say, a BirdDog Play, you would only need a monitor, and it will automatically change using keyboard? Yes, it would. That is exactly what I'm saying, driver. Pekka, can you use? I'm really sorry if I'm butchering your name, by the way. Can you use virtual camera to do that? I'll let them respond there. Are you? Shout out to Rochester College Advanced. Yeah, avl.com. There is that website. Hey, sounds like it, says NetHab. I had to step away for a moment, and I missed most of the description about the connection to Studio Monitor. Is that documented somewhere? Yes, and there will be videos that will come out really shortly. We've had some COVID stuff go on in Australia, so our content creator, like Eamon was saying earlier, hasn't had the chance to do all the video tutorials that we wanted to have ready, but those should be coming out in the next couple weeks, so keep an eye out for that. Night all, I have to go. Take it easy, Qstream. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it over in Denmark. Hey, that's true, but for a nod, noob, that could be easier, like Teams and such. Oh, I see. There's we'll say Lucky responding. That way I don't worry about butchering your name. Hey, will this broadcast be video on demand afterwards? As we have to go shortly and like to see the new controller features. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, it should stay up for 2 weeks on the Twitch channel, so yeah, it should be available. Is the calibration data lost on loss of power? Will it recalibrate each time you power it up? It does recalibrate each time you power it up and each time you call a camera. Okay, so now it's calibrating the P200. Okay, and it does it live all the time. So every time you call a camera, it calibrates the joystick over and over. It's a live accumulation of data. So I do believe it dumps it after you turn it off. But again, the calibration will begin, and the more you use it, the better it becomes. So that's good stuff there. Hey, Ben, yes, it will be available as a specific video when we're making for all of our devices. What does the joystick button stand for? This joystick button is... What did they make it? They made it as something, and I can't remember. Oh, it's autofocus, one-touch autofocus. So let's get this let's get this focus thing out of oh, whoops, that's a P100. Let's see if I can do it here. Manual focus. I can't remember how to do this. Let's switch to camera 3 because I feel like that's the one we need to. Whoa, it's out of focus already. Is it? Shoot, I forget what they set up. Maybe it's not. And maybe the focus speed is really slow. Yeah, I can't. Oh, shoot, I can't remember. Jake, what is it? Jake will know. That's correct. If BirdDog plays, receiving the keyboard router feed, it will automatically switch. Joystick button. Someone will know. I've forgotten what it is. Sorry, there's a lot going on in my brain right now. Hey, Ben, yes, it will be available specific video. Hey, nice job, BirdDog. Can't wait to get my hands on this for the updated kit. I agree.